You are listening to selfdiscoverymedia.com, where illumination and inspiration is but a click away. With so many genre topics for you on everything that you need to know in life. We celebrate and share the people who have taken the journey before you and who are now here to serve you with their wisdom and their knowledge. The next show coming up is... Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sara's View of Life. I'm your host, Sara Troy. You're right here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. Well, I have come back from the UK. I've done my birthday show because I went over there to celebrate my birthday, my brother's, and my sister's birthday. And even today, I had a Libra birthday party with a couple of other Libras. So still celebrating turning a senior. But England, I'm going to share my perspective on the UK and all that we did there, all that I saw, all that I learned, and have a few pictures that I'm going to share with you. I did a lot in a short period of time, and it was quite exciting. But I do kiss the earth when I come home. I'm very grateful to be living here in BC in Canada. So what did I do there? Well, first and foremost, I arrived 45 minutes earlier than predicted. All very well, we meant to arrive at 5 to 7 in the morning, and we arrived at 6:15. And yeah, that kind of meant a lot of waiting. One thing that really astonished me is that went in with just the passport on the camera thing, picture they take of you, and we didn't go through anybody, no questions, nothing, which was rather disconcerting. How do they know who I am and what I am and everything else? So different border control now. My sister was there to meet me. We took the train an hour long to get back to her place, had breakfast. Let's go for coffee, she said. Now, bear in mind, I've had a 10-hour flight. I was at the airport 3 hours before that, didn't sleep much before that, and I don't sleep on planes. But hell yes, let's go for coffee. Went for coffee and my pain raison, which I absolutely love, and café noir, and we potted around. Went back home, crashed for an hour. Got up, had supper, watched TV, around 10 o'clock crashed again. The next day I was up into London to meet my ex-host, Hyacinth, from It's All About the Kids, and also one of my wonderful guests that I've interviewed many times, Duarte, who also is run about children. It's down on King's Road. It was an excruciatingly hot day for the fall, and I had not prepared myself for it. I'd taken clothes that we were wearing here, kind of blouses and lightweight sweaters, and we were into an Indian summer there that was really, really, really hot. I got home, got off the train, waiting for a bus to go up the hill. Bus was full. Decided to walk, only to see an empty bus go by me. By the time I got home to my sister's, I was exhausted. 10 o'clock bed again. The next day, being picked up by my cousin Susie on a 2-hour drive over to Rye, a beautiful old town that used to be a port, isn't anymore, where we were going to have lunch with my cousin, Catherine, and my cousin Bridget, cousin Susie, my sister and I, and it was all of our cousins getting together. And it was the first time I'd seen Catherine in 44 years. She's married to Darius Rubeck, Dave Rubeck's son, the jazz musician. And you will be hearing his show the beginning of November on his music, his time in South Africa teaching, growing up with his father, Dave, and we'll be listening to some of his cool jazz music. We were taken out for lunch by my cousin, Catherine and Darius, and we went to this beautiful 14th century old pub. You literally had to duck through the doors, everything, there's lovely wood beams. It was the white tablecloth, 3-course meal, beautiful wine. It was really lovely. Back to their place for tea, and then the 2-hour ride back home. And it was a long day, but a very, very good day. The next day, we went shopping. And yes, I had to do some of my Primark shopping. And we went to Bromley, and we did some shopping, and we went for an Italian lunch. And then we went off to see the movie... oh my goodness, the English movie, I've gone completely blank. Downton Abbey, the Downton Abbey movie. And it was delightful. If you're a Downton Abbey viewer, you're going to love this, the way they kind of seal some shows off, you know, people's stories off. And there's some very funny scenes in it, some really good belly laughs, and it's just pure delight. We really did enjoy it. And the next day, we went into London to watch, to see Mary Quant's exhibit. Now, if you don't know who Mary Quant is, she changed fashion completely in the 60s. The bob haircuts, the mini skirts, the block type colors, the colorful pantyhose tights, and completely introduced a whole new line. My sister was caught up in that fashion. She's 13 years older than me. I caught the tail end of it going into Twiggy. So Twiggy was the kind of clothing that I wore at that time, which had been influenced very much by Mary Quant. So the exhibit was a lot of fun. We met up with my brother, wandered around looking for a restaurant we could all agree in. My sister's a meatarian, my brother's a vegan, I'm a vegetarian. We ended up at this wonderful pub. Cannot remember the name of it, but if I do, I'll put it in the blog. And I had this trout, chili trout. My sister had the same. And it was delicious. And again, wonderful wine and a lovely evening. Back home to my sister's. And then the next day, my brother and I went to Lincolnshire, where he lives in Grimsby. A lovely drive going down the rolling hills and the windy roads. And we popped at home. We had this wonderful soup for the first night. And we just took it easy for the week. I read his new novel, minus the last chapter. It was really wonderful being able to read that and comment on it. And it's definitely a perfect Hallmark movie. And I really want him to write the script for that, because it will be superb for it. Full of intrigue, con artistry, politicians on the take, the con of the pain management, just a whole load of stuff. Plus a love interest, a dog, and a kid. He always manages to get those in. And an exciting book, which I can't wait to be out there. And we went for lovely walks along the beachfront for some wonderful meals. We went to an old schoolhouse for a lovely meal where I had bangers and mash. I had to go down memory lane. And then we were in a place called Louth, where I was born. And we'd popped to the post office, and on the way back discovered a vegan restaurant. And of course, my brother's full vegan, very little choice down where he lives. And here's this lovely little restaurant. And we had afternoon tea scones, and they were fluffy and beautiful. Apparently, the trick is in very, very fine flour. And it was absolutely gorgeous. And we went off for tea, well, not tea, so dinner, where we had fish cakes, fabulous fish cakes from Willie's in Cleethorpes. They really are delicious, with chunky chips and vegetables and glass of wine, and it was lovely. So again, very, very relaxed. A couple of meals out, a lot of meals in. He and I eat very much the same, either, you know, oven baked vegetables, casserole, or stir fry. You know, we eat very, very much the same in that way. And it was very, very relaxing. Did a little shopping, obviously, and then back we went up to London. And in London, we had a day down at the Borough. And if you haven't been to the Borough, it's the next bridge over from London Bridge. And underneath it is this market. And the market is filled with cheese places, spices and salts and foods. Oh, it is wonderful. It's right underneath this bridge. And I had a paella. Oh my goodness, saffron rice with lovely chunks of mussels and prawns and everything. And they didn't chimp out on it at all. £8.50. And it was this beautiful big dish, absolutely delicious. And I highly recommend it. There is a photograph in the blog of where it is. My brother had a vegan pizza. My sister also had paella. And the whole place is just buzzing. The crusty loaves of bread and all sorts of other foods that you can buy. And it's just buzz, 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 buzz. And we'd gone in when it was pouring with rain. And of course, the sun came out. And I took photographs of I think it's called not the Strand, or the tallest building, the pointy one in London. Some fabulous pictures of that in the blog. And, you know, then we took the train home and had a nice relaxing evening. And then the Thursday before I left, I was pooped at this point. Every Sunday I had to kind of crash and let my body rejuvenate, because I was doing a lot. And I had done a show beforehand about my health and going to the UK when my body allowed me to do what I needed to do with my condition. And it allowed me to push myself a great deal. But at the same time, I knew all crash days, I had to honor those. So both Sundays were crash days, and that Thursday was a crash day for me. And I needed to sleep, and I needed to catch up and regroup, because of course I was leaving Friday morning. 5:30 in the morning, up 6:30 on the first train, an hour to the airport. My brother came with me. We said goodbye to my sister. And then I had a lot of luggage. I gave my computer to my brother to hold. So I went, no, I've only got this carry-on and this case. And I had to take a kilo out of the case and put it in the other case. It's all going on the plane, but I couldn't put that kilo in that case. And then take the computer, put it on top of the bag with the coat over it. So just one bag. There's ways of doing things, folks. And then wait to go on. And we were 55 minutes late taking off. So 45 minutes early that way, 55 minutes late that way, which made us 35 minutes late on the other side. I watched 6 movies on the plane coming back. Ollie and Stan, all about Laurel Hardy and Stan, a lovely movie, highly recommend it. I watched Bella, the dog, lovely little story. And I watched Shazam, fun. And what else did I watch? I watched Aquaman, glad I saw it on the plane. And a few other movies. At some point, they just kind of, you're just staying awake watching something and you kind of forget what it is that you saw. And then when I arrived back, Rebecca, my daughter-in-law, my son's girlfriend, picked me up and we went for Foho food and went back to the place, greeted by 3 lovely puppies. Oh, grandma's home, kiss, kiss, love, love, sitting right on top of me. Had a little nap, stayed up, had dinner, watched Criminal UK. Highly recommend this on Netflix, folks. There's Criminal Italy, Germany, Spain, and UK, and it's all around interrogation, and the technique's brilliant. And we watched 3 UKs in a row, and then saw my son. And the next day, went and had a pedicure and the back massage on those chairs, lovely. Had lunch with my daughter and her husband, where we went down to the restaurant, had a nice evening in, and then the next day was my birthday. And my son woke me up with a French press coffee and my gifts, which was a Fitbit and a book and some goodies. And then we went and had breakfast at the restaurant, but of course it got really busy. So I stepped into hostess mode and just started seating people and things like that through the rush, and then just stepped back and relaxed. And then that night we all went off, my daughter and her husband, my son Tyler and his girlfriend Rebecca, and my girlfriend Cindy came out, and all the Bernie children with their significant halves. And we went for Po Kong food, Chinese food on Kingsway. If you're in Vancouver, highly recommend it. It's a vegetarian Chinese restaurant. Oh my God, the food is delicious. And I wanted Chinese food for my birthday. And we had this wonderful feast, and I had wonderful conversations with Cindy. Didn't get to talk much to the other kids, but they did. And the next day, we just all relaxed. We just all chilled out and stayed home and relaxed. And I went home on the Tuesday. So I did a lot. I saw a lot. It seemed to be, just on the go all the time, but it was a lot of fun. My brother and sister and I, we're all very, very different. We all take, after different members of the family. The common denominator we have is love of family, and my brother and I have a lot more in common with the sense with the vegan vegetarian, with the books, the storytelling, and the walks on the beach, and just being more laid back. My sister's very into Brexit, and so of course I did do a show there on politics on Brexit, and very pleased to see at the present moment that Boris has got the EU to agree to the terms, and now he's got to get the party, English party, to agree to leave on the 31st of October, and I hope he succeeds. My sister's very, very intense over Brexit, as are a few other people, and eat, drink, and sleep in it, and it's bombarding all the time, rather like we have Trump over here, up woohoo, the whole time. And it got very intense to a point I had to say, enough, saturated, enough. But a lot of people have had it for 3 years and they just want it over with, the same as what was going on in America. And of course, while I was over there, we had the Trudeau over brown face, and there's a lot of kind of hysteria, I call the mudslinging, where people are just mudslinging all the time. And instead of looking and really assessing, is this relevant to the issues at hand. It's all about trying to bring people down in order to push people up. And we as human beings love to buy hysteria, love to sling mud. We can be very nasty. And it really embrace that nasty streak. And I think the more you sling mud at someone, the more I step back. Where is it coming from? Can you not present anything that will make me change my mind to vote for you? That is intelligent and really does present an option. But if you can only sling mud all the time and that's all you're about, then you're just a mudslinger that's an empty vessel, and I'm not interested. So it's been very, very interesting to be over there at that time of Brexit and the crunch, what's going on here with our own elections, which by the time this show airs, we would have elected again, and I know who I want. And of course, the impeachment of Trump that's going on. We're in turmoil times, but if you talk to the everyday person, they just want to get on with life. They just want some stability and security, and they're getting sick and tired of these political games, this art of division. And when we have looked down at the root of everything, can we look at what that division is? Where does it come from, truly and honestly? Because somebody is somebody's best interest to divide us. It's the EU, the European Union, to divide England. It is the Russian to divide the UK and America. Because if we stand united and strong together for our own nations, we're a force to be reckoned with. But if you divide everybody into then hating each other, well, now you can slip in uninfiltrated, right? You're there. So, this war that we're looking at, yes, China with all the weaponry, we can be definitely scared about that. But I think we're already in a war. We're in a war of infiltration, of fake news, of hysteria, of mudslinging, anything that causes people to divide as a nation. Because we've only won wars when we've become united. We've only solved problems when we stand united, and we're busy slinging mud and hate at each other and rising hate out in others. Then there's the divide, and that means that anybody can slide right in. You've opened the door for them. So think twice before you're going to, buy into the mudslinging. Think twice before you put someone down. Yes, you have all the right not to like somebody's policies, principles, actions. And many of the politicians, it speaks for themselves, and you do not have to back or promote them or allow them at any point. But we do have to be careful of getting into the hate side, because that's a negative energy, and that negative energy begets negative energies, and that causes that stir fry of hate and violence and righteousness and elitism and war. So let us be mindful. Let us have at the forefront of understanding and kindness and caring towards one another. Because as I said in my last show, if for 24 hours on this planet, everybody stepped out into the higher vibration of love and kindness, where we only said good things about each other, and it came from our heart and soul, and everybody for 24 hours was kind and caring to themselves and to everyone else, you will see such a shift in energy in this world. And it's the shift in energy that we need in this world. So until we get to that point where all of us can do it together, you do it, and then you'll invite someone else to do it, and they'll invite someone else to do it. So look at the ripple effect. Be a part of the ripple effect. Be a ripple, because your ripple begets another ripple. So if you're pointing fingers, mudslinging, hating out there, remember that's the ripple you're sending out. If you really want to see change, you have got to be that change that you see. Please, it's necessary. So I had a wonderful time. Thank you to my wonderful sister Jane and my brother Sam. I look forward to his book and his movie. I look forward to seeing my sister again and all my cousins again when I go back to the UK one day. But right now, I have come back with a decision. Drum roll, please. I'm going to be putting my time and effort into selfdiscoverycommunity.org, my nonprofit. And that is going to be something that will really be focused on in the new year. In the meantime, I've had everybody ask me, Sara, where's your book? Where's your story? You're always sharing everybody else's story. So I am now going to buckle down and do my book. It's going to be an audio and written book And I'm going to be focusing on that for the next few months. And when that is done, it is going to be the book that goes through the selfdiscoverycommunity.org, where we are going to be publishing books and collaborative books and raising money and being able to support other people at a crossroads in life. And Self-Discovery Media is the media platform that promotes that. So there's a lot to come. But basically, stepping back outside of my life at the moment, it was a pause. You know, a time for me, time to regroup. I came back really tired, and obviously I knew that was going to be. And in that fatigue, it was, okay, Sarah, do you want to just immerse yourself back into this? I'm still going to be doing interviews. I am still going to be doing all the work that I do on Self-Discovery Media. I'm going to be laying the groundwork and preparation and everything for selfdiscoverycommunity.org. But I'm also going to be focusing on my book as a door opener to the community, to the media. So you will still get shows from me. You'll still get shows from wonderful people that I bring to you. I'm not even having hosts at the present moment. If I find people that are truly and utterly committed to the work, then I will. But right now, it's just going to be the shows that I bring to you. But with 2,500 wonderful alternative wisdom shows for you here on so many subjects, 18 genres, you've got plenty to listen to. And if you do have somebody that you would like to hear a story of, somebody's life tale that really should be shared, or somebody that wants to promote their business, or somebody wants to promote their book, I have a 2-tier. If it's your business, if it's your own self-interest, I charge. Each show takes 5 hours production. If it is an organization, a nonprofit, I do not charge. That goes for the self-discovery community. I need to charge in order to keep the station going, keep a roof over my head. I hope you respect that. And it is the way podcasts are going. So it doesn't matter what has been done before. It is what's being done now. And it's the respect of the value of the work that I put into it and what I'm doing for you. Quid pro quo, right? So that's what I'm going to be doing. The book is going to be done. It's already rolling around in my head. I've just got to start getting down to it and to start laying it all out. And it will be my life as told from my angel's perspective. Oh boy, what is she doing now? So here we go, folks, the next venture. Please do look at the blog. It's under selfdiscoverymedia.com. And it is Sara's View of Life. And it will be my UK trip. And you'll see the one about taking the trip and then the one about having the trip. So the UK trip adventure. And you'll see all the postings in there, the Mary Quant stuff, the food at the borough, and photographs with my brother and sister celebrating our birthdays, and just a few other things. Driving across the UK, all the beautiful rolling hills, and the wonderful fields, and still the Roman walls, and all of that beauty. It's absolutely wonderful. It's a beautiful trip. But then when I came home here to Victoria and to Vancouver, all the trees were in autumn, all the maples and all the others. I'm looking out right now at a beautiful yellow and orange tree, a beautiful red, cranberry red tree, another tree going from green to yellow. And it's so beautiful. I'm very grateful to live here in Victoria, BC. I'm very grateful for the friends and family that I have near me. And now it's just for me to take a step back, share my story, and then it's full steam ahead on all the work that I do. But as I said, I'm still interviewing. I'm just not going to be hosting other people right now, unless they are truly and utterly committed. And it's going to be, following through. I mean, last week I've just become a senior. I'm 65. And I don't look upon that as a detriment. It's very, as I said, but it's also, it's a gift. I've lost so many people young in life, and there are so many people who give up so young, that being 65 and still having the ability to do what I do, I'm very, very grateful for. And, I will be looking for those sponsors in the future to do with the books, to do with the site, to do with the media. And I'm looking for partners, and I'm looking for collaborations for people who truly, honorably want to commit. But in the meantime, it's book time. And let's see what I do. I don't really know how it's going to come until I press record, and we'll see. And I'm just going to let it organically flow like I do everything else. So if you're going to the UK, go to the borough, um, go down Kingsway, go to the museums and whatever's on show right now. Just wander around London, all the wonderful pubs and restaurants and everything that's there. We were in Lincolnshire and Grimsby and Cleethorpes and Louth and Horncastle, all those wonderful places around that area, the countryside. My sister's in Beckenham near Bromley, and I also saw at Adler the Brad Pitt movie, which was very interesting. It's a slow movie in the sense it's a dialogue movie, not a shoot it up. So it was, more of an intrigue, which was really interesting. And, we had a really just lovely, relaxing time. And it was really good to see family. And I hope I can make it back there next year to see all the cousins again. One doesn't know. We take each day as it comes and live in the now, right? So, folks, until next time, Sarah's got to get on with writing her book. Who knows what next show is going to be about? I'll let you know next week. So until then, bye for now.
We hope that you enjoyed the show and were inspired to come and visit us at selfdiscoverymedia.com and see what other shows we have for you. And please do visit our selfdiscoverycommunity.org and see how you can be a part of giving back. Thank you very much.